Guys, welcome to tonight's section on uh on our social media marketing and management course. Right. On this very course of this very section, we'll be dealing with persuasion and influence. Right. Persuasion and influence. On the previous section, we were able to cover emotional intelligence, where we discuss so much that will help us to enhance sales and increase sales or improve sales in our business or whatever it is we do. Right. So let's get started with tonight's section. Right. Persuasion and influence. Right. Now, when we refer to persuasion, we are referring to the process of using what reasoning, argumentation, or emotional appeals. We already talked about emotional blah blah blah, so we should not stress ourselves so much on this part right now. If you go through the emotional intelligence, it's going to guide you well, and you'll be on the same page with what this emotional appeals refers to, right? To what change someone's beliefs, attitudes, or what behavior, right? Uh, then it also involves what presenting arguments, evidence, or information to convince others. Mark the word presenting and convince. You are using something to convince people that what you are doing or this particular point of yours, they could consider it or take action on it. So it's more like presenting arguments, evidence, and information to convince people to adopt your point or your view or your point of view, or maybe take a specific action. Now we are referring or we are discussing sales, right? We are discussing sales and we are trying to see how we can use persuasion and influence to improve sales, to improve our business growth by what making sales from our customers and so on, right? So persuasion is often used in what sales. It can be used in marketing. It can be used in public speaking to convince audiences to buy a product or to buy a service or to consider what an idea. The objective is to convince people. The objective or the main purpose of that very of this very persuasion is to be able to convince people that your point or your idea or your product is what they need or is what they can go for. So at the end of the day, when you're able to convince them through this persuasion or this persuasive means, you'll be able to what, achieve your end goal. If your goal is to sell a product and you're able to convince them through the different persuasion processes, you will be able to achieve your sale, your product to be sold. And if it is a service you want to consider people or to convince people into maybe uh, patronizing or whatever or considering, you need to do the same thing. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to achieve your goal. Same thing with idea. Yours may not be that people will buy or maybe pay you money. It may be that you want people to consider your idea, to adopt your idea, to put your idea into practice, right? Or into action. It means you are achieving your goal by convincing them into accepting what you think is the right thing or what you want them to accept, right? That's what persuasion stands for. Then when we talk about influence, because we are dealing with persuasion and influence, when we are talking about influence, we are what we are referring to. We are referring to the ability to shape or affect someone's thoughts, feelings, or behaviors without necessarily using direct persuasion. You know, persuasion is more like you are forcing someone against what the person is not interested. It may be that maybe you are selling an orange, even when I'm not interested in buying that orange, because of how persuasive you are, I may end up buying that orange. That's where persuasion is coming in. But in terms of influence, influence is not where you are directly persuading them. It may be that maybe you are selling orange, and even when I'm not interested in the orange, maybe because of how some persons uh, maybe were convinced and they tested the orange and they felt like, oh, wow, this orange is good, and they decided to share about it. Or maybe I saw someone taking it, and the way the person is smiling taking it, the smile influences me. It took a hold on me, and I have to just consider it. So uh, you are indirectly shaping or affecting my thoughts or my feeling or my behavior without you necessarily what using the direct expression, just like we discussed earlier. Now, influence can be exerted through what personal relationship. It could be how you are related with someone from time to time that the person will be able to maybe consider what you do. So if you are running your business or you are running someone's business, you need to understand this aspect of closing sales or this aspect of achieving your desired result. You want people to consider what you do. You want people to comment. You want people to be reacting. You want people to maybe subscribe to your channel, to be watching your videos, to maybe send message or take action on your offer, whatever it is, or maybe share your post. You can influence them from your personal relationship. For instance, I just rounded up a training right now. The woman invited me to take a section on her training, and we have been doing I think this is the fourth or the fifth, or sorry, the fourth or the third time now of me taking part of her training. And that's what she does. Every time she has a training, she invites me to come and teach. And we have been together since 2020, right? My influence upon her, the relationship with her has grown to the level that she trusts me so much and she invites me to fill in that gap for her always, all the time. And she keeps recommending me. That's what relationship can achieve. And influence can result into this. What persuasion cannot do per time, influence can do. And what influence may take time to achieve, persuasion can help you to achieve instantly. We are still going to be looking into the different examples of persuasion and differences or similarities between persuasion and influence, right? Now, it could be maybe social norms, it could be expertise, it could be other forms of indirect persuasion. For instance, a thought leader or someone who has influence can easily sell a product to people because he has been able to build relationship with people. He has been able to use his expertise to convince them that he is the good to. And that's why you see the likes of coaches, influencers, they are able to sell things to their audience easily because over time they have been able to build that relationship. They have been able to influence upon them. Even when this, whatever it is they are selling, even if it doesn't worth it, they'll be able to sell it because they have been able to convince them that whatever that comes from them is the right thing. Whatever that comes from them is good, which in most cases they may not be. But because they have influenced them over time, they'll be able to sell anything to them, right? Without necessarily doing direct persuasion. So influence is often used in leadership, in coaching and mentoring to shape others' decisions. Your mentor can come today and sell and want to sell a book. You want to buy because he's your mentor. Even if the content of the book is what you know, you still want to patronize because your mentor have been able to shape you, right? Remember we said what influence is the ability to shape or affect someone's thoughts, someone's feelings. So your coach have been able to affect your thoughts. He has been able to affect your feeling. He has been able to affect your behavior in such a way that you don't have option. As far as there's a post, you want to be the first person that will patronize your boss or your coach or your mentor, either because you want to improve or you want to encourage them, or you want them to feel that, yes, you appreciate whatever it is they do, or you want them to feel that, yes, people value what they are pushing out. Or at times, you can even buy indirectly, maybe due to how they're able to promote their offer, or maybe because of how they're able to come up with persuasive words, or maybe because of the influence they have had upon you. There are some persons, okay, I personally have bought courses that I don't, that I even, that have, let me say, I'm ahead of. There are some courses I've paid for because I want to have direct access to those instructors and those coaches, just for relationship. So influence is another critical factor that can enhance your sales as a business person or as a social media marketer or social media manager, right? Now, in terms of persuasion and influence, let's look at these examples. These examples of what persuasion and influence, right? Now, a salesperson represents what, or a salesperson presents a detailed comparison of their product features or benefits versus the competition, highlighting the advantages and value it offers to the customer, right? This is an example of persuasion. So as the salesperson is using this logical argument and evidence to convince the customer to make purchase. Remember, we talked about using curiosity, using scarcity and urgency, using reciprocity, using storytelling and so on to convince people into buying your product. We discussed that on what emotional intelligence and sales psychology. You should visit those sections if you've not gone through them. Right now, a salesperson who already knows about sales psychology, who already knows about emotional intelligence, would want to use some of these emotional intelligence principles to what convince you, or these psychological principles to convince you into buying their product. By doing so, they will come up with a detailed comparison of their product or their services compared to other competitors. So they will come up with their features, they will come up with their benefits with, and they will compare to, and they will try to convince you that they are better than their competitor, so that you'll be able to what, patronize them. For instance, if I am to present off Scheme Money to you, I will tell you that Scheme Money is a platform where you learn profitable skills and also how to make money online. And not just that, I'll come up with other offers, other benefits. And I will tell you that you don't necessarily need to pay for a course on Scheme Money. Once you're a registered member, you have access to the courses on Scheme Money free, right? You don't need to pay for the courses, just membership, and you have access to them. And you have access to live trainings, you have access to 1 year membership, you have access to referral commission, and so on. You have access to promotional offers, maybe opportunities, privileges that comes up. You have access to maybe giveaways like gadgets, resources once we roll them in, right? At the end of the day, you feel convinced that yes, this is worth it. That is me trying to persuade you with using what? The different features and benefits of Scheme Money. So whatever it is that you are managing, whatever it is that you are promoting, there are benefits and there are features that once you are able to use these things to hit your target audience, they'll have no option than to show interest. And that's why it is very important to learn copywriting. And that was why we covered copywriting, using words to what? Sell to people. And they talked so much about persuasion and to persuade people, attractiveness, and so on. So copywriting plays a very critical role in your sales journey as well. Right now, when we talk about influence, now a manager sets a positive tone and work culture within their team, encouraging collaboration and innovation. Through their leadership and example, they influence their team members to adopt a growth mindset and strive for excellence without directly persuading them to do so. Now, for instance, you can decide to, maybe you are managing a group, you are managing a business, or maybe you are trying to affiliate stuffs, or maybe you are gathering people, you are generating leads that you can convert to join Scheme Money where you'll be paid referral commission, and you decide to gather them in a Facebook groups or maybe in a WhatsApp group, and you keep telling them, you keep building trust in them almost every day, maybe because you want them to be convinced and you want to be able to influence upon them. You gather them in a group, then you do free teaching. You take teachings, you keep teaching them free of charge, you keep teaching them free of charge. At the end of the day, you're able to what? Present an offer and they jump into the offer. Or maybe because you talk about what you do, indirectly you are selling to them. So you are not directly persuading or convincing them to buy from you, but you are building, or you are encouraging, or let me say you are building trust in them that will make them to develop a particular growth mindset. And before you know it, they will show interest in whatever it is you do. Anything you talk about, they'll be interested because you have over time convinced them. I've used it and it has worked all the time. For instance, many persons joined Scheme Money recently through one of the training I did on crypto airdrop, right? Most of them joined the airdrop section, they made money, and they came and registered for Scheme Money, right? These are ways to influence people. So you are not selling to them directly, but you are able to influence them and they take action on that specific goal and desire, or what you intend or what you want them to do, right? Now, the next thing here is what are the key differences in terms of persuasion and influence? From the previous discussion or from the previous explanation, it is very certain that persuasion and influence, even though the end goal is almost same thing, but their processes are not always same, right? They are a bit different in their processes. Now, when we are referring to persuasion typically involves what? Direct and explicit arguments. You are trying to convince someone that what you have is the best, what you know is the best, your idea is the best. You're trying to convince them directly. While influence, on the other hand, it often operates indirectly through subtle cues and relationship. You are building relationship, you are building trust, gradually, before you know they show interest. So you are not selling directly. So we can sell persuasion is direct sales, while influence is indirect sales. Permit me to use that word: direct sales and indirect sales. Direct sales, you are hitting the nail by the head, but indirect sales, you are taking time to convince them to use strategies that will make them not to feel like you are selling to them, but at the end of the day, you sell to them. Right? These are all sales strategies that once you develop this mindset, or once you have this knowledge, it becomes very easy to grow your brand online. It becomes very easy to push online and to navigate on the space and be able to get your desired goals achieved. Then the next key difference there is what? Persuasion aims to change beliefs and behaviors in a specific instance. Now it aims to change a belief. Maybe you have this belief that everybody that makes money online is into fraud or scam. I can categorically convince you that not everyone that makes money online is into fraud or scam. That is me. That is me trying to change your belief. But influence, on the other hand, may not necessarily do so. It may be that it may shape your attitude or your actions over time. Maybe because you live close to me, you see how I act, you see how I relate, you see how I talk, you see what I do. Maybe maybe you are passing through where I am currently, and you hear me talk about what I'm doing the very class right now. You hear me talk about this very persuasion and influence. You hear me teach people. You hear people ask questions and address them. You hear me communicate with my customer. You hear people call me and we discuss business. Over time, you feel like, yes, this guy is actually into something legitimate. This guy is not doing anything fraudulent or anything related to fraud or whatever. With time, you'll be convinced that this is what this guy does. And at the end of the day, you'll be sold completely. That is persuasion. It takes time for persuasion to influence rather. It takes time for influence to be able to be effected on someone. But persuasion can be instant. I can tell you right now that I can teach you how to make 10 million naira right now, and I will show you account balance, and you'll be convinced. That's persuasion. But influence, I may not necessarily tell you I made money, but maybe because I'm looking good, I am eating well, I am giving, I'm contributing, I'm maybe helping one or two, you feel like that this guy is making money. You'll be convinced, right? That is that. Then in terms of, the third one right now, persuasion relies on logical reasoning and evidence. Logical reasoning and evidence. You are reasoning beyond, like, you are above your customers, you are above your audience, you are critically analyzing things with facts and figures. You're able to come up with numbers that will make them feel like, yes, this thing actually is real, and they want to show interest. You have evidence, you have proof. But when it comes to influence draws on personal relationship, personal trust, and credibility. This way, you are building relationship, you are building trust, and with time, you are able to execute your target. So these are just few key differences that will expatiate more on this persuasion and influence. And I'm very convinced that this is very straight to the point, right? Now, how to close a deal. Now, this is where most persons have been having issue. You tell some persons you advertise a product right now, they will advertise and they will not be able to sell or market whatever it is they are doing to people. Whatever it is they're advertising or promoting to people, they will not be able to win one person, right? So now, how do you close a deal? When we refer to this deal, we are referring to making sales. We are trying to close a sale. We are trying to make a sale. Now, you can apply this to anything you do. So far it has to do with someone, you can use this to persuade or convince or influence them or close them. So when you hear close, it means you are convincing someone to take an action or accept a particular idea or belief, or maybe a service or a product or an offer. So what are these different steps into closing a deal? Step number one is prospecting. Step number two is initial contact. The third one is need assessment, presentation, handling objection, negotiation, closing, and follow-up. So we'll take them one after the other. When we talk about prospecting right now, when we talk about prospecting, prospecting is basically you identify with your potential customer and qualify leads. You identify with them and you're able to qualify them. For instance, somebody is coming, or maybe you are running an advert telling people to come and learn how to make money online. Now, by the time you come up with that, you've been able to identify with people. Your target audience are people that want to make money online, definitely. So anybody that sees your advert and the person is interested in making money, the person is going to show interest. By so doing, you've been able to identify your potential customer, right? Or maybe you are promoting a product or a particular service, whatever it is you are promoting. So far somebody out there needs it, you've been able to identify the person. And if you all could recall, we discussed market research where we discussed about customer data, how you can segment your customer, you can qualify your customer, you know your customer by demographics or whatever it is, whatever factor that will give you an idea of who your customer is. So that is where identifying potential customer is coming into place. So by the time you've been able to identify them, you'll be able to qualify them. You'll be able to qualify them by, as they take action, whoever that takes action is what already your customer, your potential leads, right? Now, the second one, which is initial contact. You are reaching out to your prospect, you introduce yourself to them, and you start building relationship with them. You start building rapport with them, right? You start engaging with them time to time. You are not directly selling yet. You are taking time to talk to them. You are taking time to introduce what you do or yourself, your services, your business, your offer, your benefit, your future. You are just, right, introducing it to them so that this belief system or the belief in them will be building up gradually. They'll be building up gradually. Before you know, you go into needs and assessment. For instance, I can basically start by saying I can show you how to make money online. Then I come to tell you more of, in terms of initial contact. Now I will come with, my name is so person. This is what I do online. I've been able to make money online. I've been able to teach people online without stepping out of my room or from my comfort zone, with my laptop and with my phone. Legitimately, I work with people from different parts of the countries, different parts of the world, and I am able to make money and I live freely, comfortably. I've been able to introduce myself under the initial contact. Then when we talk about need assessment now, I can decide to ask questions to understand your needs, your pain points, and your goals. In terms of this assessment now, it could be from maybe my research, or it could be maybe a one-on-one conversation and I decide to ask you questions, or maybe I do a survey, I research based on what people are saying and I decide to attack it that way. So from this need assessment now, I can decide to ask you, what are your current challenge? Is it that you don't know how to make money, or you already have something but you don't know how to make money from it, or you don't have idea of how people make money online? I've been able to ask you questions. So from that question, I should be able to present something to you. That's where the presentation is coming in. So in terms of the presentation now, I am definitely going to showcase what? I'm going to showcase my product or my service, highlighting the benefit and value, so that it will meet up with your needs and your desires, so that you'll be able to take action. So from my research, I've been able to get some needs assessed. I've been able to get your needs. I've been able to get your pain point. I've been able to get what you want to achieve, your goals. And I come up highlighting this presentation, or highlighting my offers in terms of benefit and value. Or it could be that maybe you have weight, you want to lose weight, but you don't know how to lose weight. I can come with maybe an offer that will show you how to lose weight, that will teach you how to lose weight, maybe doing some certain things, or maybe within a particular duration, you'll be able to lose weight. I can be able to highlight this benefit and value in my presentation. By so doing, I'm already nurturing you gradually. So when you hear people talk about nurturing, this is what we are referring to. You are trying to close a deal. So you are taking people from prospect to initial contact to needs assessment to presentation down to follow-up, right? Now, when we talk about handling objection, when we are dealing with emotional intelligence, we talked a lot about handling objection, handling a rejection. Now, in terms of handling objection, You are trying to address people's concerns and their doubts. For instance, if I want to sell a product and I know that many persons have been complaining about affiliate marketing, I can categorically tell you that you don't need to pay before you get started. If I tell you so, you'll be convinced. Because the issue with affiliate marketing currently that most persons are doing that is not really fair. They will tell you that you can start making money online without doing, or maybe by selling people's products. And at the end of the day, they are going to tell you to pay a certain huge amount of money to sign up. By the time you pay the amount of money, you sign up, they register you, you're already part of the affiliate system, and you would need to start promoting this product. Then at the end of the day, you may not know how to promote this product. It becomes a challenge. So you may come up with an objection. Anything that has to do with affiliate marketing, you'll be afraid. You'll be afraid. You'll be scared, and be concerned, and you'll be like, "Do I need to register with money, or do I need to? How do I convince people? How blah blah?" These are objections. So if I come out with an offer and I tell you that you don't need to register to get started with affiliate marketing, you will be able to do it free of charge. All you need to do is just to learn and follow whatever it is I'm going to teach you. I'm already handling objection. I can come up that you don't need to stress yourself, or you don't need to be scared of how to convince or how to sell your product, as I will be able to teach you and I'll guide you how I've been able to close sales, how I've been able to close my deal. That way, I've been able to do what? I've been able to convince you by handling the objections that you are coming with, your concerns. Do you need to have a laptop to make money? No, you don't need to have a laptop to make money. I can teach you how to use your smartphone to make money. I've been able to address a particular concern or doubt, or maybe an objection, or maybe you want to buy a product and I tell you you don't necessarily need to okay, I can tell you pay on delivery or free delivery, right? These are objections already that will convince you what considering whatever it is that I will be doing, right? And this is more of counter arguments, right? Any argument that will come up, I'll be able to counter it ahead of time so that there won't be any stress. So the next stage is what? Negotiation. Now that I've been able to handle objections, I should be able to negotiate terms with you. I should be able to negotiate price with you. I should be able to negotiate conditions with you. I should be able to find a mutually beneficial agreement with you, so that you'll be able to have a firm decision, to be able to have a stand that yes, this thing is actually in alignment. So this is basically what sales funnel. This is basically trying to convince a new cold audience, somebody who's meeting you for the first time, into showing interest in what you do, and they'll be able to pay you and buy your product. For instance, physically, people come to your shop for the first time. They come to your shop, they step into your shop. They are coming to your shop because they are interested, or they have a need, they have what they want to buy. It is very easy that way. But in a situation whereby somebody is passing, nobody is coming to your shop, you can stand outside and start talking about what you do, and start singing, or start just like these people that said this rat poison. You see how they keep shouting, they talk, blah blah blah. Some persons will look funny. You see some persons, they'll tell you, I could record, there was a certain time somebody was promoting this is it cassava flour? Yeah, if you're Nigerian, you should be very conversant with that word. So, somebody was selling it, and the person was like, that if you have soup, you eat swallow. If you have soup, you eat swallow. So I was like, it was very funny. That the person was like, once you have soup, you will eat swallow. Meaning, if you have soup at home, there's no point worrying about swallow, that the person is selling swallow. That's the person was advertising in a very appealing and unique way. Once you listen to such person, it will appeal to you, and it will be very easy. You don't need to use heavy grammar, very heavy words to be able to negotiate offers or terms with people. So by the time you'll be able to negotiate terms, pricing, conditions, you're finding what? A mutually beneficial agreement. Then you jump into the last aspect, which is closing. So that's where you ask for the sale, you confirm the deal, and you finalize the agreement. Until there is a sale, you've not been able to achieve your goal. Once they pay, they remove their credit card, they make transaction, or they make transfer, or they walk into your shop, they give you that 1,000, that 2K, that 5K, that 50K, that 100K to buy that particular product before a sale has been closed. So these are the processes you take a new customer into uh, making a sale. Then once a customer has been able to transact or maybe patronize you, that person is a potential, or that person has the potential to keep buying from you. And that's where follow up is in place. Follow up is very necessary. For instance, it's going to ensure a smooth implementation, provide support, and build a long term relationship. For instance, you join Scheme Money, and by the time you join Scheme Money, you were told that there are two packages on Scheme Money. Before you can get started, there is regular package which costs you 3,000 naira for 1 year, and it gives you access to our easy how to make money online courses. Then the super courses now are more advanced courses like professional courses that will take you time to learn. Before you can access the super package, you need to upgrade from what the regular to super, which is going to cost you 10,000 to upgrade. Now, I can basically, or I can just promote the regular to people. I can just promote the regular to people. By the time you join regular, you see most of the offers, the benefit on super. And by the time you join through the first offer, I've been able to what? Sold you. I've been able to convert you into sale. Now I can follow up with more offers. I can follow up to ensure that you upgrade to Scheme Money. I can follow up to ensure that you are convinced that we are delivering whatever it is we promised you. I'll follow up to ensure that maybe you bring other people to join the platform, because you can make money from referring people to join the platform. Now, as regular allows you to invite up to 10 persons and you make 33% commission on registration, which is 3,000 naira. You make 1,050 naira per one person that sign up through you. That's regular. And you are limited to 10 persons. You cannot invite more than 10 persons to join to make money from regular. If you invite 100 persons, you're only going to be paid for the 10 persons. Now, for somebody who wants to get access to unlimited referrals, who want to make money from different number of referrals, thousands or whatever number of referrals you want, you need to upgrade to super. That's a way to upsell. That's like a follow-up that will upsell another package into whoever that signed up through the regular, whereby the regular is going to give you another higher commission, aside from the 33%, which is 1,050 naira for every sign up on regular. Anybody that upgrades to super is going to give you 5,000 naira each. So for every regular upgrade under you, you are going to earn 5,000. So imagine if you have like 10 persons and all of them upgrade to regular, that's going to be 5,000 times 10, which is 50,000. If you have 100 people, that's 500K. And not just that, it is going to be renewed every year. So as these people activate or reactivate their subscription, you are going to be paid every year. So it's not as if it's a one-time commission. If I join through you today, and you are being paid after 1 year and I renew my subscription, they are going to still, the system is still going to automatically credit your wallet with that commission. That's how the system is built. I'm sure some of you are just hearing that for the first time, or you are not grounded with a lot about Scheme Money right now, but gradually you are going to understand better, right? And aside that, you have access to professional courses like professional graphic design course, advanced copywriting, intensive Facebook ad training course, which will take you about a month to cover. If you are to take it one per day, it's going to take you like 1-2 months to cover. And you are going to learn web design and so on. There's also web development on regular. And these courses are all free on super. They're all free on super. Now, I can decide to do follow-up. Everybody that have signed up right now, or I can decide to maybe create my separate group where I teach people about Scheme Money, and I try to convince them to sign up to Scheme Money. Once they sign up, I can decide to maybe have a separate group where I keep nurturing them to what? Upgrade to super. That way, as they upgrade to super, I'll be able to make money. So I am making money from people that are joining through regular, and I'm also making money from people that are upgrading towards super. That way I'm making money. And I'm also learning how to make money online through the different courses, different trainings, different recommendations, different job opportunities, different offers. For instance, recently we did some crypto farming airdrop, and many persons made so much money from 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 400,000. Some people made up to 6 figures from the airdrop. Now, that is a free offer. and we shared it to members of Scheme Money, and most persons participated and they made so much money, right? Imagine if someone is sharing about that, the person will be interested into joining Scheme Money. So these are strategies to convince you from the prospective stage into the closing stage and then follow up stage. That you bought something from me does not mean you will not buy from me again. In fact, you will keep buying from me, and your network, people around you will keep patronizing me. That is the objective. That's the goal, right? So that's how to close a deal, or how to close a sale, or how to get a sale achieved. Then the next thing is how to persuade and how to influence. To be able to persuade anyone, you need to be very authentic. You need to be real. You don't need to fake anything. You need to be very real in persuading, or in whatever it is you do. So personalizing everything you do and say will help you. I can tell you about me and not tell you about others. In that way, I'm being authentic. I'm using facts and figures. I'm telling you about myself, and that's going to convince you enough not to tell you that so person made money. If I tell you that somebody made money and I have not made money, it is not really right. It doesn't really make sense, right? It doesn't really make sense. I don't need to tell you about the possibility. I need to tell you the possibility of others. I need to tell you the possibility or what I've achieved, what I've been able to do. Then in terms of preparation, you prepare. To be able to persuade, you need to prepare. So you keep your numbers and facts. Whatever it is you need to use to convince people, you need to prepare and keep them. If you need to have for instance, if I want to teach you 10 ways to make money on Scheme Money, I need to make provision for the 10 ways on ground so that I'll be able to use them. And if I need to use any facts, I need to get everything in place to be able to use them to persuade you. Then in terms of problem solving, right? I need to focus on solving your problem. I need to focus on solving that problem, not to sell. In as much as I am trying to sell, but I am trying to solve your problem. So as I try to address your problem, I am ending up converting you into a sale. So if you are selling a particular product, you research a product, you know this product is going to convince people because their products are selling more than others. I am able to come up with reasons to why you should buy the product by addressing the different solutions or the different problems that the product is going to solve. That way, you are going to resonate easily with my offers, and you are going to patronize very easy. Not to tell you, buy this product, buy because it is cheap, buy because I am selling, buy because I need money. No. But I can tell you that if you buy this product, at the end of the day, you are going to achieve so. You should be able to lose weight. You should be able to maybe exercise. You should be able to maybe do one or two. You should be able to start making money. You should be able to promote your business. You should be able to gain customers. I should be able to provide a solution for your problem, right? So once I'm able to do that, it makes selling very easy, right? So I am indirectly selling to you, but the aim and the goal is to make sale, right? So what's the next thing? The next thing is to empower. Sorry, social proof. Social proof. Now, people may not trust you, but they will trust other customers. For instance, there was a day a particular woman sent a message, and she was saying the Indaboski of Facebook ads, that you know your onions, blah blah blah. People started coming in, boss, and they started paying me for adverts. Right? They've started paying for adverts, and that was because they were convinced with the social proof they saw. Another one was the recent 64 million sales, right? 64 million naira sales. One of my clients did on a real estate offer. By the time most persons saw it, they were convinced. They were ready to run advert because these are social proof. Or maybe somebody bought your product and maybe about losing weight or so on, they bought your product and they were able to achieve their desired goal. If they send any review, feedback, or whatever, you can use this. These are social proof, and people will be convinced that this really worth it. Right? That way you'll be able to persuade people with your social proof. Then in terms of in terms of empowerment, rather, you are providing context instead of selling them what to do, telling them what to do. Right? You are providing context instead of telling them what to do. For instance, you are empowering them. You are not telling them, you are empowering them what to do. I can tell you that you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and I will tell you, I'll provide what to do. I will not just tell you, I'll provide what you need to do to get it achieved. At the end of the day, you're empowered, and it makes persuasion very easy. Then on the other hand, we have what? How to influence. By influencing, you are more of trying to make people feel very important. So you are focusing on them. So you are trying to be a nice guy, you are trying to be a nice person in the best way to influence them, right? So the essence is to have a relationship or trust or reputation, right? So you are trying to focus on them by making them feel important. Once people feel important about what you like, once they know that once they know that they are important in your sight, it becomes very easy to consider whatever it is you say or do or contribute. Then the storytelling is the other aspect of how to influence. And this is just like stories actually makes product or services more personal and interesting. If I relate with you how Sapa dealt with me, or how so dealt with me, and I was able to overcome it, it will relate well with somebody who is going through Sapa. Don't mind me, the word Sapa is actually to be broke, or maybe poverty, or maybe lack, whatever, right? So you are trying to relate with people by telling them your story, and it makes sales very easy, right? You also, the next one is connect. You are trying to connect with them. You are trying to connect with their emotions. You are trying to connect with them so that they will feel that, yes, this person is passionate, or this person is interested in whatever it is that is affecting me. At the end of the day, you convince them and you make yourself, right? Then the next one is FOMO. FOMO means fear of missing out. That's like you give them a chance to be included. You are trying to make them to show interest. They will have this fear of missing out, and they will show interest instantly. For instance, I can tell you that I want to do a 50% discount today. After 24 hours, I am going to take it back to the normal price. If I'm selling a product 50,000, I can tell you 25,000 just today. And maybe because, and I also tell you that over 100 persons have bought this product. By tomorrow, I'm going to increase it. There will be this fear of missing out, and before you know it, you jump into the offer, right? You jump into the offer, and everything will go as smooth as possible, right? Everything will go as smooth as possible, and you'll be able to what? Execute your sell, and at the end of the day, you're able to hit your target, and you're able to achieve and meet your target, right? Now, the next one is indifference. Now, what indifference, rather indifference, not indifference, indifference. Now, what do we mean by this indifference in terms of influencing others? Now, you can create a sense of neutrality, like you are remaining indifferent. You can appeal impartial. You are making your opinions and actions more persuasive. Like you are being neutral. You are trying to you are helping someone to maybe you are trying to help someone to resolve a conflict and difficult conversation by allowing or maintaining relationship and influence without confrontation, right? Or you are encouraging others to take action. So when you remain indifferent, others may feel compelled to take action or make a decision as they seek to fill well the void left by your neutrality. You are being neutral. You are not siding. Maybe you are trying to resolve something. You are not siding anybody. You are trying to be neutral as possible, as much as you can, right? So that way, it helps you to influence over people. You are an influencer, you are a coach, you are author, you are not being biased, you are being sincere, you are being transparent, you are just relating people or relating with people, or maybe addressing things the way they should. You are not being biased. That way, you are randomizing things, and you are making people feel, people will feel, and at the end of the day, you'll be able to influence over them, right? So that way, there will be no distrust, and there will be a lot of trust. And at the end of the day, you end up achieving your desired goal, right? So now the last part for tonight is what? Steps to mastering Persuasion. What are the steps to mastering persuasion? Number one is building character. Number two is giving reason. Then emotion, metaphor, and brevity. Now we'll be taking them one after the other. When we refer to building character now, you are trying to be the change that you want to see in others, right? You are not telling others to be something and you are a different thing. You be the change, you represent what you want them to do so that they'll be able to be convinced, and at the end of the day they'll be persuaded and they will take action. You cannot take someone to stop eating rice and you are eating rice. You are influencing people, you're telling them eating beans is bad and you are eating beans. It doesn't really make sense. So you are building character, you are becoming the change that you want them to become, right? So now you are asking questions like, would it really make sense to be broke and wanting to make others rich? Now just imagine that question. You are broke and you want to teach someone how to make money. You are crying, you are scared, you have shared with people that you don't have money and you are trying to teach people how to make money, just like some affiliate marketers do these days. You see somebody, they'll be promoting how to make 7 figures and they have not made money. Somebody will be telling you how they can make you, or they can teach you how to make money, and they have not made money and they are trying to make money from you. It doesn't really make sense. You are not building character, right? Or maybe do you think someone will trust you to make them successful when you are a complete failure? Somebody who has been making maybe taking first position from the back or from behind, or you have been having DDD or FF in your exam. You want to teach somebody how to be how to pass exams. It's actually very crazy. Doesn't really make sense, right? So that's very you need to put that into consideration. So you must build up to be the change so that others can be impressed rather, and they want to take action, right? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? How is your character consistent or credible towards what you are selling? Or how is it not? When you are able to address some of these things, it makes sales or persuasion very easy. Then the next one is reason. Now, you are giving people the why, the why, the why you are doing what you are doing. So why are you doing what you are doing? You are giving them reasoning. And the why have to be very strong. Maybe I want to teach you how to make money because I don't want you to beg. I don't want you to borrow money. I can make it that way, and somebody who has been borrowing will feel it will touch the person, it will be very strong, very intense, and the person will have no option than to show interest, right? So the why should be very important. Why should they do what? Do that? Why should we do business with you? Why should I patronize you? Why should I buy the product from you? Or how are you going to? How is also part of it? How are you going to achieve it? So you need to use facts and numbers. You need to appeal them in a very reasonable way, right? You need to gather all the important facts and you'll be able to address this very reason. Then the next one is emotion. Emotion, right? Then when you have influence, that means you have built trust and relationship. And that's to say you can play on people's emotion, right? You can play. We talked about emotional intelligence, so this is actually not strange. This is not new, right? So the people buy. Now people take actions due to feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotions push people into taking action. So you need to consider that a lot. It could be maybe storytelling, just like we stated earlier, and you want to make them feel. You want to make them have this feeling, so that they can relate with whatever it is you are doing. And at the end of the day, it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes so much sense. Then, what is metaphor doing here? Metaphor, we know, is a figure of speech. How is it important to sales or mastering persuasion? Now, metaphor in this context is basically using, or maybe say, an explanation of tool to get people to understand something, right? It's just like you are turning words into images. You are improving understanding and remembering things, or you prepare. And before you do that, you need to prepare ahead of. You need to prepare. For instance, I can decide to tell you, use some words, and decide to come up with or look at what you are selling, or maybe deal you are trying to make. And at the end of the day, I'll just come up with something I'll just, before you know it, I'll draft one or two that will make the sale very easy, right? I hope someone is following me. I hope somebody is following me, right? So we are trying to use this to enhance ourselves. For instance, I can tell you that this software is a rocket ship for your business, propelling you to new heights. Or I can tell you Facebook ads is a rocket ship for your business, propelling you to the new heights. Now, by the word, what I use, the rocket ship I use now, you already know that rocket will fire, rocket will fly, rocket will run very fast, go very far, fly very fast, right? That way you know that the the rocket ship used right now is making this statement what a metaphor. I can also say our solution is a bridge connecting you to your customers. Now, if you decide to relate what a bridge does, if you decide to relate with what a bridge does, you already know that now this is going to handle every obstruction or whatever objection between solution and customers. So it is going to connect, the solution is going to what? Connect with customers, and it will make sales very easy. Or I can tell you, my services what are safety net, protecting your business from potential risk. Safety net, am I trying to catch mosquitoes, or am I trying to maybe uh uh am I trying to uh capture any insects that I'm using safety net? But because we are trying to use metaphoric words to sell, we are infusing this tool to make words looks like images, right? And I can tell you our partnership is a marriage, a long-term commitment to mutual growth. Now, you are not marrying to me, but the word marriage, you decide to picture what marriage is all about. So we are using what? Images to paint pictures so that sales becomes very easy, right? So that's what metaphor is actually reflecting in terms of mastering persuasion. Then the next thing is brevity. Now, you need to be as concise as possible, or you go to the point as possible. There's no point trying to stress people at times. There's no point trying to stress people when you are trying to, right? So you need to what? Be as concise as possible. You need to get to the point as possible. Less is more, right? Get to the point. Summarize it as much as you can rather, and avoid too many things. Avoid too many things so that you don't stress or confuse people. Straight to the point. Hit the nail by the head. Don't go around beat around the bush and you convince someone. Just go straight to the point when you are trying to persuade, right? Now, you need to consider all of these different steps to mastering persuasion. And at the end of the day, sales will roll in. It will be very easy to persuade people and to convince people into taking a desired action, or into buying an idea, or accepting an idea, or considering whatever it is you have or you want them to do. So that at the end of the day, you are able to what? Achieve your goal. So it is very important to understand persuasion and influence in your journey of sales, or let me say social media marketing and social media management. This is very important because you may get to a point where you need to say something, or you get to a point where you need to promote something, either a charity stuff, or maybe you are running, you want to convince people to subscribe to your channel, subscribe to your maybe newsletter, to visit your website, to follow your page, to interact with your post or whatever it is. You are able to persuade them and you're able to influence them over time. So this is very important. This is very important. And we believe at the end of the day, you are going to maximize so much as you start to apply this knowledge into whatever it is you do.